Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about film assets as a whole. I think this is going to be a good video for beginners, intermediate, advanced, because what we're talking about is pretty basic in terms of the application of it, but at the same time we're going to talk about some more advanced creative uses of it, as well as we're going to talk about the difference between low quality film assets and high quality film assets. So this is going to be a two-part upload. In part one, we're going to talk about the creative application of using video overlays, film assets to create some really awesome looks, and not just the basic way of just setting it on screen and walking away from it. We're going to really talk about the full extent that you guys can take this to really create some really awesome looks, like this kind of crazy flashing video projected look that we have going on here. And then in the second part of this video that's coming soon, we're going to recreate the composited fire from the music video Robbery by Juice Wrld, and we're going to kind of make it react with the actual shot itself by adding that camera blur. We're going to talk about the motion tracking to get the fire into place, and then we're going to talk about some advanced ways that we can truly composite that and make it really look like it's real. So let's go ahead and delete all this so that we can start from scratch. Now let me just talk on the footage a little bit. This is a cool little lighting setup if you guys are interested. And to pull this off, all I did was have him sit in a chair. I have a quasar on one side, quasar on the other side. I wanted it to really be hard lighting so we could get a lot of shadows on his face, and then I put gels over the lights to change the actual color of the lights. So now that we talked about how we set up the shot, let's go and talk about the actual assets themselves. Now the assets that we're going to be using for this video are the Tropic Colour film assets and some of these cool glass and light leak effects that they have on their actual website. So shout out to Tropic Colour. It's run by Jakob Owens. He's an awesome filmmaker YouTube. You guys probably already know of him. So let's hop into this film assets pack that we're speaking of. Link down below if you're interested. Now the thing that I truly like about this is the fact that it's not low quality clips. So if you guys have looked into film assets video overlays in the past, you know that your main two options are usually ripping a low quality green screen clip or whatever from the internet, or you can go on something like a stock website and download one clip for sometimes up to $40 for the HD version, sometimes even more than that. So this is a really great in between in terms of price point, all shot in RAW on a Red Monstro sensor, which is amazing, and the clips themselves are in 4K Apple ProRes 422, which is industry standard, so that's great. Also, in terms of what you're getting, there's fire, embers, ice, dust, water, haze, smoke. Here's some cool little screenshots. Also, I was able to secure you guys a 10% off code. If you do want to pick this up, just use code Novak10 at checkout and you guys can save some money. So let's go back into Adobe Premiere. Once you've downloaded them, you can take whatever element you want and just drag it into your Adobe Premiere project bin just like that, or After Effects, or whatever other editing software you're using. The great thing about film assets and video overlays is it's universal across all of the editing softwares. If your editing software is able to just change the blending mode, then this is going to work for you. Okay, so I have this little clip of fire in here, and another thing I like is because it's so high res, it just really seems organic. You get that real world footage look instead of getting a 3D simulated look. So let's go ahead and set this up to blend it in with our scene. We're going to go ahead and click on the fire clip. We're going to go up to the top left under effect controls, and we're just going to go down, find where opacity is, and change your blending mode from normal to something like screen. Here it is, simple as that. We have the fire within our clip. Now another cool little thing that we can do with this, let's go ahead and bring in a water clip. So here's what the clip of the water and the bubbles looks like. Beautiful footage. You get a lot of bokeh in the background, and the bubbles themselves just look really awesome, really super high definition. So let's click on this water clip, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same exact thing, but we're gonna switch it around this time. So let's drag this fire up, click on the water clip, up to our effect controls. Let's go ahead and set the blending mode on screen again, and you're going to have that on the left. Also, make sure if you are working in a smaller timeline than 4K, this timeline is 1920 by 1080, so I'm going to right click on the water clip and just make sure that's scaled to frame size. Sometimes they will just kind of be blown out, and if it does look like that, make sure that it's scaled to the frame size so you're getting the full clip. Also, we can take the position of this and just move it over so it's more on the side of the blue. Now, what I'm going to do here to get this cool video projector look on his face with the water is I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm just going to drag this clip up to duplicate it. And now I'm going to select the duplication, and I'm going to switch the blending mode from screen to color dodge. And what that is going to do, it's going to project more on his face. As you can see, you get a lot more color by using color dodge, and you can experiment with all the blending modes as long as it's putting it there and doesn't have a black background like this. You can try and put the color dodge in the layer below screen or in the layer above, whatever look you like. So don't stop at just throwing it on screen and walking away. There are a lot more creative things that you can do by playing around with blending modes, duplicating and adding other blending modes. And then of course, since these are clips of themselves, you're free to add any range of effects onto there, any color grade you want. So let's go up to our basic and we can change around the exposure. You can add contrast, of course. You can make it more blue. Even if you are working with cheaper assets, I still recommend you mess around with the blending modes. Don't just leave it on screen. Change things around. Of course, like I said, you can go to effects. You can add glow effects. If you do need any preset effects, check out my website. I have some cool Adobe Premiere plugin preset stuff going on. We can even take this fire clip, hold down Alt, duplicate it. We'll put this fire clip instead of screen, we'll put it on color dodge to really try and project it onto his face more. And there you go, just some cool, awesome, crisp looking effects to really sell this scene more. Okay, so that is one example on how you can use film assets, film overlays, video overlays to create a creative look just by using what you have available to mix with the background and with the vibe of the scene. And of course, you can mess around with a bunch of different looks. Say the fire isn't going for you, maybe add in smoke. Experimentation is really the key when it comes to this. And when it comes to video editing in general, I'm going to show you guys these glass effects real quick, because I think for those of you who are into like travel videos or maybe music videos where you have the subject with like a background and you want some cool little elements just to kind of spice up the footage, I'm going to right click and just make sure that that is scaled to frame size. And then I'm going to go ahead and scale that up a tiny bit like that. If we play it through, we can check out what the glass is looking like. Some really cool stuff. Up here, same exact thing to composite that in. Click, go to screen, bam, there you go. Let's go ahead and turn on the fire and the water with all of that, and maybe let's grab the glass and I'm gonna put it on the bottom below all of these. Now you have that glass flashing in there and really just selling the look even more. Okay guys, so I'm actually gonna break this video into two parts. The first video is that creative application showing you the film assets. The second part, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a mixture of simulated fire film assets and composite them into the background. We're gonna mess around with some advanced camera techniques so that we can really get some camera blur and bokeh that matches our shot, kind of similar to that Juice Wrld Robbery music video. So that's gonna talk more on tracking within After Effects. We're going to talk more on the difference between simulated fire made in our 3D software and organic shots of elements like this Tropic Colour fire. We're going to mix the two and create some really awesome looks, so stay tuned for that. That'll be out soon. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check out the description for all relevant links I might have talked about in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting, and I'll see you guys later.